Good morning. Happy Friday. I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to discuss some things that I talked about on yesterday's group call with my divine feminines, my lovely divine feminines. I felt like this had to be shared more in depth today. I was talking about how a lot of divine feminines, we tend to give so much love. And when we give so much love to our counterpart, we kind of get disappointed when we don't get that love in return. And whether it's our counterpart or our friends, our family members, this happens a lot because we have so much love. We have divine love to give. We embody Christ's love. And so when we don't get it in return, a lot of us then start to feel like, well, what's wrong with me? How come they don't love me as much as I love them? I'm giving so much love, like what's going on? But I want to remind you that just because someone is unable to reciprocate that love for you does not determine your worth. It does not mean that you are unloved, and it also doesn't mean that they don't love you. And this is something that we have to constantly remind ourselves, that if someone removes themselves from your life or they're unable to give you that love, it doesn't mean that you're not worthy of it. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve the love. It doesn't mean that they don't like you. It doesn't mean any of those negative thoughts, those negative things that are coming up in your mind, because I know your mind starts brewing, well, what's going on? What did I do wrong? Am I too clingy? Am I too much? Am I too needy? Was I too much with them? Did I give them too much? No, you gave them all of your love, right? You gave them so much love. But that person that is not reciprocating because they don't know how to reciprocate that love, because they most likely did not receive that love as children. They were neglected that love when they were children. And this oftentimes goes hand in hand with an anxious attachment person giving so much love to an avoidant attachment person. So anxious attachment people would tend, like divine feminines, we tend to be anxious attachment, but it's not so much anxious attachment. We just have so much love. We really, really do. We want to show that love. We are here to give love. We are here to show people all around us, because I am very giving with my love, not just for the men in my life, but with my friends, with my people, with my family members, right? And that is just the kind of person I am. But then when you encounter someone who's unable to give you that love, it makes you like, whoa, what's going on? What did I do wrong? But I want to remind you guys that there's nothing that you did wrong. Now, what happens is these avoidant attachment people, the people that suddenly pull their energy back, that were giving you so much love in the beginning, they were giving you all this attention, and then suddenly pull their energy back, is most likely because they're an avoidant attachment, or anxious avoidant, or even dismissive or fearful avoidant. Why this happens is because they were neglected that love as children from their mother or father. When a heterosexual man did not receive that love from his mother, and his mother neglected him, and his mother was not able to be around and didn't give him love and affection and attention that he should have had as a child, that is going to carry on through his relationships, and he will most likely attract very toxic relationships where the partner betrays him, where the partner yells at him, is very toxic, doesn't give him the emotional need that he needs, the emotional support that he needs, and then he'll keep chasing and chasing and chasing. So when a woman finally gives him that love and attention that he's always wanted, it scares him, because he's so used to, and this goes with women too, but because this happens more so with men, I'm using a man as an example. He is so used to being neglected and fulfilling his own support. Like, okay, well, my mom wasn't there for me, so I have to fulfill my own emotional needs. I don't need anyone else. So when a woman comes in, a secure woman or an anxious woman, attachment woman, gives him the love that, she's just used to giving, they get so scared and anxious and like fearful that they want to run because they're not used to it. And so what happens is they start to feel like, well, this is too good to be true. I'm going to eventually get abandoned and rejected because that's what always happened. So I don't want to get entangled with this person and get hurt because this love is so good, but this doesn't exist, right? Because they never got that kind of love as children. The best thing that you can do with an avoidant is give them space. You need to give them space. And oftentimes an avoidant will appreciate that space, and then they go hyper independent, and they're like, oh, thank God, finally I can just breathe, I can leave. And a lot of times when you set those boundaries and say, hey, I don't appreciate this, you're not giving me the time and energy that I need, they'll either correct themselves and they will be like, oh, okay, well, okay, fine, well, I'll work on myself. If they have that ability, they will work on themselves and be like, okay, let me fix that. Otherwise, they'll go back to their old ways and they will continue to run and look for something kind of like the next shiny object to kind of fill that void a little bit. Or they will focus themselves on work to occupy their time and space and energy to avoid their feelings, basically. Then what does an anxious attachment person do? Oftentimes, an anxious attachment will keep contacting them, will keep reminding them of the love and all that stuff. But a secure attachment person will give them the space that they need, because a secure attachment person knows, I'm not going to lower my standards for someone that is unable to give me that love. I'm not going to diminish and keep chasing a man that is unable to give me that love. And I know it really hurts, because we as divine feminines and empaths and all of that, we are able to see that person needs the love. That person wants that love. That person is able to give the love because they showed you that love in the beginning, but they have wounds to heal. And I want to remind you all that we are not here to fix people. We are here to help people. We are here to remind people of what love is. We are here to show what love is. But if someone is unable to reciprocate that love, we do not force them to love us. We do not chase that love. We have to stand in our power and remember our worth. And this is why we always talk to ourselves, and why it's always so good to talk to our inner child and our inner teenager, because our inner teenager may lash out. Our inner teenager may start to get frustrated. And that's something I had to work on, is like, reminding yourself that just because this person is unable to give you that love does not mean that you are not loved, does not mean you are not worthy of the love. So always talk to your inner teen, your inner child. It's okay. I love you. We do not need someone else to give us that love. We love ourselves. And it is not our problem, it is not our fault that they cannot give us the same kind of love that we give them. We have to remember that not everybody has the same heart, okay? A lot of people in the spiritual community, obviously, we share that in common, is how big our love is. But when somebody has wounds, right? A very wounded masculine or wounded feminine that did not receive that love that they needed from their parent, that normally of the opposite sex, or just their parents that they needed, right? And if they have not worked through those traumas, they are not going to be able to give you the love that you deserve. So do not waste your time trying to understand why they ran, why they are not able to give you that love. And if you are unworthy, you are so worthy of love. You are loved, okay? But your worth is not determined on what someone else gives you, okay? That is why we constantly have to focus on ourselves, love ourselves first. We gotta put that focus and energy that we've been giving to them back to ourselves. Do not lose sight of yourselves, because you are way more important, too important for that. Always love yourself first. Pour into yourself before you pour into someone else. I love you. God bless.